On October 9th, 2024, a storm caused a hybrid fiber coaxial cable to fall in my parents' front yard. They contacted xFinity asking for it to be repaired, to no avail. So instead, I pestered them over the phone for about 2 weeks until they eventually agreed to pay me $60 for helium balloons to float the line back up into the air.
Choosing xFinity, this is... May I have your first and last name, please?
Sure, my name is Mac Lunn. I wish I was calling you under better circumstances, but there's a line down in our front yard, and it's been that way for about a month. I tried to take matters into my own hands, and I may have made a mess for you all to clean up.
Hello?
Oh, it was. It's on the ground.
Is it a buried line, like supposedly buried under the ground?
No, it was supposed to be up in the air. You may need to bury it after what I did to it, but I must have run over it 3 or 4 times with the lawnmower. My dad's out there holding it right now, so he's holding it up off the ground. He looks like Danny DeVito in that Christmas movie, Deck the Halls. I hope that's not a live line, though.
Yeah, let me, scan and check over your place right now. Okay, let me try to check the earliest one.
He's standing on the roof with a wire in each hand right now, trying to hold it up off the ground so it doesn't fall apart anymore. So, you think we could get somebody there today?
Yeah, okay, let me try to check first if there's any available appointment for today, okay?
Yeah, he's stomping down at me to let me know he's still up there, so he's pretty old, so I hope he doesn't fall off the roof he's got the dog with him up there. I told him he could just let the dog in the backyard, but
Right now, sir, the earliest tech available is tomorrow, between 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
whew, he's gonna be up there all night.
Yeah, do you want me to schedule this for tomorrow?
Sure. With the wire hanging all apart like it is, we have some pipe cleaners. Do you think I could maybe use that to hold it together until then?
Yes, can you help me do that, sir? Thank you so much for that.
Do you think the pipe cleaners are a good idea?
Yes, sir, that's a good idea. The check is still coming up for tomorrow 8 in the morning, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Do you have other questions, by the way, or inquiries for the services?
Nah, I better go get him down. I think the ladder fell, so I gotta get him back on the ground.
Oh, okay.
After artificially inflating our expectations, xFinity did not show up the next day.
Thank you for choosing xFinity.
There's been a line down in my parents' yard. The other day they said they would come out and fix it yesterday. My dad doesn't get a lot of visitors, so he sat out there all day with a bowl of Halloween candy hoping to greet them, and nobody showed up.
Yeah.
His depression's real, so it kind of upset me to see him cry like that.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Goodness gracious. Okay,
Yeah.
well.
His dog just
I'm
died.
sorry you have to do it back around. Oh, the dog?
Yeah. Well, it died because he fell off the roof when my dad was trying to hold the cable up.
Oh, man.
But is there any way we could get
Okay.
somebody to come look at that line?
Yeah, of course. I'll be happy to jump in and help you from here with the
Sweet.
order. Let me just get everything pulled up here.
I mean, it won't bring the dog back, but it's a close second.
Okay.
He sure loved that dog. He was hoping some visitors would cheer him up, and then they never showed.
Yeah. I mean, I bet that was hard. Oh, yeah.
I'm kind of afraid it might be a live wire. He said he's going to go out there with hedge clippers and cut it later this afternoon. I'm pretty sure it's a Comcast line, or a xFinity line, though, so he shouldn't kill himself.
Okay. Well, if it is, he wouldn't want to touch it just in that case. Because if that's a live wire, then that could be hazardous at that point. I wouldn't want anything to happen along those lines.
Do you think if he wore rubber-soled shoes, he might be okay?
No, I still wouldn't recommend it, even with all the protection. I would say no, to just wait for us to get our team out to handle it from there.
I'm afraid to tell him that. He might do it on purpose just to go see his dog again.
And the line is, you said it's actually laid on the ground?
Yes, ma'am. Some neighborhood kids were playing double dutch with it earlier. I think it fell during that hurricane that came through Florida.
Yeah. So it's still being processed because I see it was just placed on the 4th of November. But the only thing is that it has not yet been rescheduled. So it gives a time frame for the next 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
To be rescheduled. Yeah, it gives that 2-week time frame for it to be rescheduled.
Where are you from? Are you from Nashville?
No, I'm from Florida.
Oh, God help you.
I know, right?
Did you survive those hurricanes okay? Yeah.
We made it out actually very well for both.
Well, that's good. I know a lot of people were really hurting down there.
Yes, they were.
A couple of them had their xFinity lines in the front yard for 2 weeks.
Yeah, once things go crazy and chaotic, it can take a lot to try to get it all back on track from there.
Well, we had reported it about 3 or 4 weeks before that.
A little further
Can you look at and see if it might be under that? Because that's the lady that lives next door that the cable was formerly attached to, her house. She called too, so it might be under her number.
I can't go until their account to pull it up and look at it, because honestly, just because it is their account, I would need them on the line in order to do that.
If you spoke to her, would you be able to look at it?
If she's able to authorize me to go into the account and pull it up, sure.
Well, she's here.
Okay.
Do you need to speak with her?
If you want me to, I can.
Oh, she's just nodding yes, that it's fine.
Okay, I would need more than that. I would need the account number. I would have to talk with her, because she would have to give me her account number. She'll have to verify her address, and then her name as well, first and last name.
That's going to be a hard one to lie about. Would it be okay if I tried it myself?
Yeah, if you're comfortable with it, of course, absolutely.
Yeah,
I wouldn't recommend it just because I don't know if it's a live wire or not, and I know you can have protection with it.
I never use protection.
I don't know. Me personally, I'm just extra cautious with things like that. But if you are comfortable with it, then of course you can.
Well, I'm thinking if I cast a fishing line up into the tree real high, then I could hook the line and just reel it up, and it might, it would at least get it up off the ground.
I get what you mean. Yeah, it does sound like a good idea with the way you're explaining it, so you're not directly touching it yourself.
Oh, I'd be touching it.
Well, if you use it with the fishing pole idea that you had?
Yeah, but I'd want to tie it on there really secure.
Oh, okay. I got you in that case. Okay. I would say to only do it if you're really comfortable with it. I honestly would want to recommend to not touch it at all. But I know you want to get it out of the way, especially since you've been waiting so long. So I totally do get it.
What's the process of becoming a xFinity technician? Because it might be faster for me to just take that class, get hired on, and then do it myself, right?
I get what you mean. I'm not sure what the process would be for a technician.
Are y'all hiring?
No. For technicians, I'm not 100% sure. I wouldn't doubt it. I feel like we're always looking for new technicians.
Yeah.
There wasn't a tech available that day.
They were off getting high at the local Five and Diner, huh?
I don't know.
Well, if you guys hire me, I'm going to tell you right now, that's what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah. Well, you got to live your life at the same time,
Hell yeah.
Yep, that's true. When the new date is scheduled, it is going to send you out an email as well to let you know. So
do you know what that email is?
No.
What?
Yeah, I have the at Gmail.
Oh, that was his dog's email. She never checks it.
Oh.
Is there a way to change that to my email?
Yeah, I'm ready when you are.
Okay, it's patientlyawaitingxfinity@gmail.com. I'm just kidding. It's maclun@gmail.com. Now, being granted permission directly from xFinity customer service themselves, we devised a plan to apply upward lift to the line, raising it into the air. With it no longer lurking in my parents' grass, ready to strike their weary strides, they would once again be free to walk the dog and mow the grass unencumbered. After precisely measuring the upward lift required using a luggage scale, we played our role as consumer at a local party supply store and purchased 2 Balloon Time brand helium tanks, each holding 14.9 cubic feet of helium, and formed an assembly line to fill the balloons and attach them to the downed hybrid fiber coaxial cable. Inspired by a documentary I had once seen about the joys of traveling while afflicted with agoraphobia, we calculated that we required about 33 balloons per pound of upward force needed, and we were able to attach roughly 99 crimson latex balloons. Unfortunately, we did not account for physics, as the weight of the line increased the further it was lifted upward, and so the balloons topped out at about 7 feet off the ground rather than soaring skyward as expected.
Thank you for choosing xFinity.
I've called a few times, and they told me it would be okay to take things into my own hands, and I don't think it worked very well. I tried to tie a bunch of helium balloons to it to lift it back up in the air. and I think I miscalculated how much the line would weigh. I weighed it with a luggage scale on the ground, but when I started to lift it up, I realized it gets heavier the higher you get. I calculated for about 3 pounds, but I think I needed about 5 pounds worth of balloons.
Question, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Is the line in a hazardous position or crossing a street or anything like that?
Yes. My dad he almost fell off the roof trying to reattach it.
That sort of escalates things.
Oh, thank you. Yes. I thought the balloon idea was pretty good until reality prevented it from working correctly.
It was a creative idea. I wouldn't have thought of that.
Do you think there's any way I could get reimbursed for those balloons?
Well, I could probably do a credit on the account. How much did you spend on them?
The balloons were only about $20, but the helium tanks were, yeah, it was like $49 a tank, and I had to get 2 tanks. So I think all told, I have a receipt. I think it was somewhere around 120 with tax. I also got a Red Bull while I was there too, though. I wouldn't expect y'all to pay for that.
Yeah, now it does look like the most that I would be able to do a credit for would be 60. I can do 60 for you right now.
Oh, 60 is awesome. Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
And you guys will get an email or text confirmation of that $60 credit being applied to the account. Now, someone will be reaching out to you guys within the next 24 hours because I did put that someone has already tripped. And now with it being a safety concern, we normally try to get this resolved for you within the next 72 hours.
After successfully attaining $60 for reimbursement for the helium balloon experiment, I could tell that we were getting closer to resolving this issue.
Hi, thank you for choosing xFinity.
There's been a line down at my parents' house. I used some helium balloons to lift it up into the air, but that was only a temporary solution, and y'all reimbursed me for that, thankfully. So they said that it was escalated to an emergency on Friday, but no one showed up Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. And then when I called today, it looked like there was no service scheduled. Could you check to see if there is still scheduled service?
And just to confirm again, there is a cable line that is on the ground, right? So would you like me to request for the tech to blur this one or just to have it at the top?
Wait, did you say they want to bury it?
Yeah, so what would you prefer, sir?
I mean,
There is a light.
symbolically, it's probably worth burying, but it's supposed to be up in the air. It's supposed to be like between two poles.
Mm-hmm.
If you told me the tech's name, maybe I could grease their palms a little bit, make it worth their while.
We don't have any options for that, sir. But I'm definitely gonna go ahead and make sure that we were gonna be getting the best technician that would,
Oh yeah. Well, he doesn't have to be the best. I was talking more about like a bribe.
Oh, okay. So for this technician visit, this would be on the 21st on Wednesday. Would that be okay, sir? This is the available one.
21st.
This appointment for you.
Yeah,
21st. That would be on Wednesday.
They said that they were gonna do it. Put an emergency request in, so it would be last Friday. Is there any way I could grease your palms a little bit? Maybe we could cancel on someone else and move mine to the 1st?
All right. So how about this? I'm going to be putting you on the waiting list or the priority list. For example, there would be like a tech available today. If ever that there would be like a technician that would cancel the appointment today, so definitely the tech would be calling you.
No, I'm totally open to bribes, though. I can go as high as $60 if anyone's on the take.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to be putting you on the priority list right now.
Okay. What do I owe you for that?
Come again?
What do I owe you for that?
Oh, nothing. Since this is a drop issue, so definitely there will be no charge for this.
Oh, but
Okay?
I'm
So just give me a few moments.
okay. I'm definitely open to bribing y'all, though. That's what I'm saying. If anyone's on the take or needs their palms greasy.
Okay. All right. So you don't have to worry about this.
Well, I don't know if this will change your mind, but I'm not just talking cash. I mean drugs. We have drugs too. We could offer them drugs.
All right.
Legal drugs, if this is recorded.
Okay, so no comment about that. But then your regional time, this would be on the 21st. All right?
Well, yeah. I mean, they keep telling me they're scheduling something, and then nobody shows up though. So I'm afraid I'm just not going to hear anything till Wednesday, and then I'm going to call back, and they're going to say Friday. And then I'd rather just do something
So here's the
today. If the tech calls me, do you think they'd be willing to take a bribe? Just curious.
Come again?
If the tech ends up calling me, do you think it might help to offer them a bribe?
Yeah, we don't accept any bribes, sir. I
None?
do apologize for that.
Oh, okay. If he does end up taking the bribe, is that something I could be reimbursed for? I could go up to $60.
I don't really think that it's possible for that, sir, because we don't really accept any like bribe or anything from the customer.
Is that like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge type thing, or?
Oh, that is like a policy.
Oh, that's a shame. No tips or anything?
All right. So I do apologize again, sir. And your schedule would be between 8 to 12, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. All right?
Okay, so if I don't hear anything by Wednesday, I should just...
we were going to make sure that you were going to be hearing from us, because actually...
I mean, you say that.
Sir, I just wanted to let you know, you told me earlier that you scheduled an appointment, right?
Yeah, they said Friday it was an emergency.
Yeah.
All these neighborhood kids are coming through and just tripping on it. You know, they're getting wrapped up in it. It's like a snake waiting in the grass. If somebody were to be injured by it, would that be something that you all would be liable for or could reimburse me for?
Yeah, that's correct, sir.
Is there any way you could tell me what happened with the guy that was supposed to come Friday? Did he just cancel and not show up, or?
I actually do see here that there is no technician that was on the account. That's the reason why nobody called you. Actually, I was able to see here that there is no appointment.
I have several appointments that have been canceled since the 3rd. Oh, I'm positive. Well, last week when no one showed up, I bought some helium balloons and I floated the line up off the ground with that. I was wondering if you thought that was a good idea.
I don't think so, sir. And again, I just wanted to let you know about the appointment before that you've mentioned that supposedly you have an appointment but nobody comes out. Because I actually checked it here on the account and there is no history about the appointment.
There's no history of the appointment?
Yeah, I do apologize again.
They said they made it an emergency.
So I was able to see here that this is on the November 6th, 12 to 10. Yeah.
November 4th I called. And then November 6th I called. November 12th I called.
Because actually the only thing that I'm basing here for the calls are the tickets.
Is there a way you could give me the local office's number? Can I talk to someone there?
We do have only general numbers, sir.
Well, that seems inefficient.
So,
a line fell at my parents' house on October 9th. We've each called and talked to somebody somewhere around 800 times, and they keep scheduling appointments, but nobody was coming out to those appointments. So I was wondering, is there a way I could, is anybody on the take? Any palms I could grease? Any bribes y'all are willing to take? Doesn't have to be money. It could be drugs or whatever you need. Yeah, and the lady I just talked to said that there was no record of me scheduling any appointments, but I mean, Scout's honor. I scheduled several. Just nobody showed up.
well, I actually noticed that you have that it's already scheduled for November 21st.
Well, she just scheduled it for November 21st. The last 41 minutes and 3 seconds.
Yeah, it shows here that it's scheduled for November 21st.
Well, she just scheduled that. I also had one scheduled for the 10th. I had one scheduled for the 8th, the 10th, and then this weekend they said that they would come out over the weekend because it was an emergency. Because the kids are out there, the line's down, they're playing double dutch with it while it's laying on the ground. It's really, you can't keep these kids out of the yard. There's so much excitement around this line. It just leaps out of the grass at you like a snake. Oh yeah, it's a spectacle. Is there a way to expedite it to have them come out maybe today or tomorrow? I'm telling you, I can go as high as $60 if they want to pay off. I can give them Mountain Dew. Is there a way you could give me an account credit for the wait?
It shows here that a credit was already applied to your account.
It was $60.
$60.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that was for some helium balloons that I tied to the line to float it up out of the way. And that only lasted about a day before they fell back down. But I thought it would be enough of a Band-Aid. I should have had more helium.
It says here that the credit was applied on November 12th.
On November 12th, but then it says that there were no appointments scheduled until November 21st. I think there's something afoot. This is a conspiracy that goes all the way to the top of Big Cable. How often are you all allowed to apply credits? Is that like a daily thing or?
here in my end, I only have a limited credit of up to $20.
$20 sounds pretty good.
Account. To be with you, I'll just apply the one-time credit of $20.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Is there like a memo item I can put for my taxes to say what it's for? Oh, okay. What are you gonna put? Can we put something cool like drugs? Can we put something fun in there in the memo for the reason for the note you're gonna leave?
Yeah, not that. What type of memo would you like me to put in?
Drugs would be optimal. That would make me laugh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is that okay? You are the best. This is great.
Yeah, only the best for you, Mark. And thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
your patience as well.
I have a lot of time. I'm unemployed right now, so I can wait.
I have successfully applied the one-time credit of the $20 of the account. So same goes with the $50 and the $20 that I have applied today. This will reflect on your next billing statement. Okay?
Thank you so much.
I mean, how do you use those helium and balloons, like for work purposes?
Yeah, so I used some helium to inflate some balloons, and then I tied the balloons to the line to lift it up to skyward them, to put them up in the air. That's where the line is supposed to be, is up in the air, but unfortunately it's on the ground right now. So the helium balloons were to counteract that problem. It worked a little bit, but yeah. Have you ever seen the movie Up? It's a Pixar film.
Yeah.
It's sort of like that, but instead of an old man in a house, it was a downed xFinity cable. I'm willing to try other ideas if you have any. Like I was thinking, maybe tying it to some birds and letting them fly up into the air might help. If they don't show up on November 21st and I call back and they say that no appointments were scheduled, I'm kind of back at the same point I am right now, aren't I? All right, well, I'm trusting you. Putting a lot of trust in this basket. I know I just met you, but I feel a connection here. My dad, he gets excited about bucket trucks and stuff like that, so I think he wants to stay home to watch. He's old and lonely. It's kind of why it was so sad the first. Huh? Sorry.
You're actually there with your dad, so he's not really lonely, right?
No, I live about an hour away. He used to have a dog, but he was trying to fix the line himself, and the dog fell off the roof and died. I bet it would cheer him up if someone shows up on the 21st. I'll call you again on November 21st when no one shows up, so look forward to talking to you then. On the cold morning of November 21st, my dad leapt out of bed like the grandfather in Willy Wonka, filled with the same excitement as a child on Christmas morning. Soon, xFinity would be here. Rolling into our neighborhood in their beautiful white and blue vans, they raised the hybrid fiber coaxial cable back into the heavens from which it came. Somewhere in this favored land, the sun isn't shining quite as bright. Men are stressed, children crying, women afraid for their future. But here at Riverside, we are, for a brief moment at least, whole once again.
It was great to me.
Now you can mow again.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.